There are so many applications coming in every day, so many people that are so forthcoming and working for free. You sort of have to look at that and say, well, do we want to throw money at them if they're willing to do the job anyway? And I think the answer is no.
All right, so there's this video about unpaid internships. It's a BBC documentary, and the CEO or the owner of the company's here, and they're like, don't you think it's more profitable for you if you're not having to pay 20 people? And the CEO's like, oh.
I think that it's yeah. Well, how would I answer that? I've never really thought of it like that.
But anyways, this video is just absolutely hilarious. It still holds up today with all the unpaid internship nonsense.
For a start, getting into a top job nowadays often means working for nothing.
I'm actually living in my parents' flat. Luckily for me, my parents are somewhat older, and my father's semi-retired, so they spend most of their time in the country, and I get the run of the flat, which is very nice.
It must be nice to be an unpaid intern and just have parents that let you live with them for free because you're not making any money. You're completely unpaid. Now, one of the things about unpaid internships here is that it's generally for privileged people, because sometimes the best candidate needs money in order to be able to at least commute to your job and eat and keep the lights on. But if they can't afford to do that, I mean, all these unpaid kids are just like, they're privileged. Mom and dad, they let me have the house, and they're never there, and they're retired.
Antonia's daily commute is a 3-mile trip from Chelsea to Soho in London.
How are you going to pay to get to work? How are you going to pay to eat at work?
She works as an unpaid intern at Modus.
She's volunteer. Let's just call it for what it is. You're not an unpaid intern. You are a volunteer.
70 people work here. Up to 20 of them are interns.
Wait, 70 people work here, and 20 of them are interns. So let's do the math real quick. 28% of Modus's workforce is unpaid interns. Interesting.
They usually work for 3 months and most are unpaid. Right now, they're preparing for London Fashion Week. Antonia has a master's degree in English.
Master's degree in English, unpaid internship. Man, it might make a little more sense now, but still, unpaid internships are bad.
To make it in fashion, you have to start at the bottom.
You have to be known by the companies to get a job. And I know that I can't just leap straight into a job, and actually this is very good for me.
It just blows my mind, the mental gymnastics that these people perform. This is very good for me. Working for free is not good for anyone but the person making all of the money, maybe saying they'll give you a job at the end, but they don't have to, and that's what these companies do. They'll be like, oh, you work for us for free, and then maybe at the end we'll give you something, but they don't have to. There's nothing legally binding that requires companies to follow through with anything they say to you. Just FYI, if you didn't know that, unless it's in your contract, they don't have to do. They could say we're gonna give you a raise. They could say we're gonna give you a job, but they don't have to. And so a lot of these companies hire unpaid interns, never hire them, hire a new wave of unpaid interns, and they just keep building their company with unpaid interns.
Interns do most of the basic work.
Isn't this illegal in the UK? Surely there's got to be some laws here.
Every little girl dreams of being in fashion, but you get into it and you realize that there's so much more behind the scenes, cleaning the floor and cleaning up after events.
That really sounds like it's contributing to your experience of being a fashionista.
Sort of a nothing position. You need help in every way, whether it's financial or sort of moral, just to get through it.
Sarah worked as an intern for 15 months. She was lucky. For most of it, she was paid, and at the end of it, she got a job.
It almost is a prerequisite for any professional position that you want.
A lot of people get internships while they're in college, and they go work for a company in the summertime, and you should be getting paid. That's called like a co-op. These people have already graduated college. That one girl before, she has a master's degree. She's already went to college, already graduated. When these people that watch my videos say, it was a requirement to graduate, these people have already graduated. You don't have to work an unpaid internship to be able to get a job. You can work a paid internship and then go get a job. And to be honest, the difference between an intern and a new hire is roughly the same. They're both going to have to be trained, except the intern's going to be paid a crappy hourly rate, and the new hire is going to be paid salary with full benefits that's full time.
If you can get in with a company like Modus and work your way up there, you're golden.
So that's her argument. If you can get in with a company like Modus, even if you're doing it for free, then you can work your way up to the big times. And I don't know much about Modus or fashion or anything, or how big they truly are, but companies that aren't big or the number one thing in anything they do think that they are. It's like, you would work for Bill Gates for free for however long he wanted, so why wouldn't you work for me? And that's the problem. These companies aren't Elon Musk. They're not Bill Gates. They're not these number one people that, probably, I'd agree to work for him for free just to learn a few things. They're just no ones. They're just companies that are like, well, I had to do it, so you have to do it.
There are so many applications coming in every day, so many people that are so forthcoming and working for free. You sort of have to look at that and say, well, do we want to throw money at them if they're willing to do the job anyway? And I think the answer is no.
The answer is no. If there's so many people that want to work for free, just say that they can work for Modus maybe one day.
8 a.m. on a damp Wednesday morning. The boss has arrived to oversee the operation. He believes internships offer newcomers a chance to get a foot in the door.
A chance to get your foot in the door. Not even your foot in the door. Just maybe you can get a foot in the door if you work for free. The owner would say something like that.
At one of the most competitive jobs in the business.
Within the fashion industry, generally, the intern is a really vital resource.
If they're so vital, why don't you pay them?
We need so many people.
And do the interns do proper work when they're here?
Absolutely, yeah, they really do. And what we really try and do is also get them to have a variety of experience as well.
If more than 15, maybe 20 of your 70 staff are working here for free, presumably that's quite key to the way you're profitable as well, is it?
Dude, the reporter puts the heat on.
What do you mean in the sense that are we more profitable because we've got free staff?
As you just said, they're doing proper jobs.
Uh-oh, you could see the regret in his eyes. He's like, oh no.
Well, I mean, I think when I say they're doing proper jobs, I mean they're doing support jobs to the key team. But they are things that need doing, yeah.
So does that help your company remain profitable?
I think that
I think that you've gotten yourself into a little bit of a pickle there, boss.
I think that it's well, how would I answer that?
Yeah, the answer is yes. Absolutely, you make more money if you don't have to pay people. I'm telling you, if jobs didn't have to pay you to come in and work 40 hours a week, they wouldn't do it. And this is exactly what that looks like, except when someone gets called out on it.
I've never really thought of it like that.
Is that legal in the UK? The homie's just like, I've never really thought about that I've made more money by not paying 28% of my staff.
Yeah, well, how would I answer that? I've never really thought of it like that.
The interns at Modus get experience across different departments, but they can expect to work hard.
If you're prepared to put in the hard work, it pays off eventually.
It pays off in a thank you and a large bonus for the CEO.
Celebrities and excitement. Life as an intern in PR can be a glamorous business. But working for free is a luxury not everyone can afford.
Doesn't it depend on privilege and access to wealth and access to free accommodation to be able to work for free for 3 months? Most people can't do that.
I do worry sometimes that it does favour the slightly better off. Although we've had a few interns who are then working evenings and doing sort of bar jobs to.
Oh, okay. So it's fine that we don't pay them because they have a second job. That's his justification.
To really supplement or to give them an income.
Problem is, one internship is seldom enough to secure a career. Of around 50 interns who work at Modus each year, only a handful get jobs there.
See, and that's exactly what I was saying at the beginning of the video. Out of all the people that work for free, only a couple get a job. So this man has just made a bunch of money off of unpaid labor.
I wouldn't mind if I had to do 3 or 4 3-month internships in a similar situation. If it got me the job of my dreams at the end, I would do it.
An Olympic gold medal in mental gymnastics. That's a lot of hoops. 3 or 4 unpaid internships to be able to get the job of your dreams. I don't think that's going to happen. The job of your dreams doesn't come right after an internship usually. The job of your dreams is something that you work towards through your paid jobs to get to your dream job eventually. Like with pilots, right? They start out regional, but their dream job is to be like a big, airline like Delta pilot or something, and you got to work your way up to the dream job. But it doesn't start from internships; it starts from paid jobs. And but this is the way we're going. This video is from 2014, and I think it still holds up today in 2021.
Internships now are the currency by which individuals can get into these prestigious jobs in the professions that are running our country.
Oh, it's convenient that the CEO says that internships are the stepping stones to society's jobs. I bet this man never even worked an internship in his life. He probably just graduated high school and made himself CEO, and now he's hiring interns. It's like Sam Beisler.
And the way that you get those is by being able to work unpaid, usually work in London, not have your travel costs reimbursed.
Girish Gupta from Wiltshire has a degree in physics from Manchester University, but set his sights on becoming a journalist. He did 4 separate internships, 3 at national dailies, 1 with a top news agency, all unpaid, all in London.
I stayed in hostels like this one for 16 quid a night. I stayed in random people's houses on Gumtree, which obviously cost a fair bit as well.
What a great life. Stay in a hostel with a bunch of randos that might steal your stuff when you're away. All to get that dream job while you work for free.
Very roughly, I mean, it would have cost over a couple of grand in all for all these placements for accommodation, not even including food, to be honest.
He paid for it by doing a master's degree in physics, then used his student loan to fund his internships in the holidays.
Wait, so you're living off of loans? You're living... Oh my God. You're paying interest on everything that you're buying, buddy.
At first, it's the excitement of it all, so you're not too worried about the money because you presume that will come in the future. So just seeing, your first page leads, your first byline in a national paper is a massive deal. So after a while of getting all these bylines, I started to realise that actually it was the newspapers that were making money out of me and making money out of my work and not paying for it.
Who would have thought if you give someone free work and don't say anything because they might offer you a job, they might make money off it. This is what people do all the time. A lot of small companies, like, I don't want to say it, but like scammy looking companies, they'll be like, here's a web page we want you to design so that we can see your design skills, and then they'll take that website or that web page and they'll use it.
In all, the papers he worked for published 32 of Girish's articles. By the time of his last internship at The Independent...
His last internship, what a sad...
I worked at The Independent earlier this year, and in my time there I had about 6 articles published. And what I began to realise was that I was doing exactly the same job as the guy next to me, and he was obviously getting paid for it.
Yep, that's exactly how it goes. You're both doing the same job, except one's getting paid and one's getting not. There's no difference.
Girish decided to take it up with the paper. He wrote asking to be paid a minimum wage for his shifts.
I got a phone call from someone very high-ranking, basically screaming at me and telling me that I had no right to do that and had no right to voice that opinion. I did try and... I offered to argue my case and he just wasn't up for it, and he eventually slammed the phone down on me.
In the end, Girish ran out of money. For him, not living in London was too big a barrier.
If getting a job involves working for free for months in Britain's costliest city, it is clearly not open to all.
I guess that's the end of it. Yeah, I never made it to the end before. But yeah, so here's the documentary on unpaid internships. I'll link it. You guys can go watch through it, but the part with the CEO's like, I've never thought about it like that. Yes, you have. Like, one of the comments is referencing that moment. Just say, yes, it is profitable for us. It's written all over your face. That's the face of, oh no, what have I done? But how do I still sound eloquent? That's today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Click like if you did. Subscribe if you want to see me call out the corporate world some more. Happy to do so. Send me anything you got at your company bringing you back with dumb things like ice cream, because I know a company that spent $120 million to install beehives and garden plots, and we'll be talking about that more tomorrow. But feel free to send me anything you have. grindreel@gmail.com, Discord, Instagram, whatever, however you want to reach me. I try to respond to everybody. Yeah, there's Patreon down in the description. Keeps you doing what I'm doing. If you'd like to support the channel, there's links and stuff. Check it out. Otherwise, hope you guys have a fantastic week, and I'll see you in the next one.